Here, what? I didn't ask her favorite color. Hi, guys. Can you guys hear me? If you can, put a 1 in the chat for me. Hi, everyone. Can you see me? If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. I'm about to bring. Yeah. Hey, Braylon, welcome. Hey, Peggy Jones, welcome. Hi, guys. Hi. So I am going to bring on Latisha right now because I know she has another engagement. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce Latisha Lunceford, aka Sweet Tea. Hi, Latisha. Welcome.
Hi. Can everybody hear me?
Can you guys hear her? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear her. Oh, they're coming in.
Yay.
Can you see the chat also?
I can see it. I think I'm a little lagging. I might be lagging a bit behind. I see it's coming in now.
Okay, so they're saying that they can hear you.
Hi,
Listen,
everybody.
I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to have a conversation with me. I know I've been in your DM and you're like, girl, you've been on it since day one, honey.
No, I appreciate it. You're really sweet. So I was like, I don't
Thank you.
mind coming in and chit chat with you. It's finally good to finally meet you in person. Not in person, but virtually in person.
Right. Thank you again. And let's start out by, I mean, everybody know that you came in like a wrecking ball, okay? You came in.
Man,
Baby.
I came in all right. I came in. I
You
was
came
quite
in.
surprised.
You came in. And we know you from being Dr. Gregory's wife, right? Tell us just a little bit more about you, or what we don't already know, or something just want to tell us about yourself.
So, I'm originally from Texas. I have a background in, like, I was in the Air Force Reserves to help me through school. I went on active duty for a while in the Air Force Reserves. I was a pharmacy tech. I loved it. I loved being a pharmacy tech. I learned a lot about medicine and drugs. I had fun with that. And then I went on and volunteered on active duty. I was in San Antonio for a while on active duty doing FOIA, Freedom of Information Act work. And from there, I went on and I was working for the intelligence community. I actually moved from San Antonio, Texas to DC, which I was living my best life. Happy hour is great hour in DC. Yes. And I was having a great time. I was making really good money. My sister ended up moving she actually moved from Taiwan, and she got pregnant. Her husband, they ended up moving to DC, and I lived with them for a little bit right before I moved to Atlanta. But I slid in the Gregory's DMs. I was ready for a family, ready for looking at my sister being a twin. You get compared all the time,
Right.
so I was just kind of looking at my sister and her family, and I moved in with them for a short period of time, but I was with my nephew a lot, and I was like, this is what I want. And when I was dating, I just wasn't really finding the right one, especially around my age group. A lot of men my age are not really ready to settle down. They're still on the streets. They're not even ready to settle down until they're like in their 40s.
Right.
So I started dating older and came across Gregory on Instagram, and the rest is history, baby.
And listen, what a slit it was, huh?
It was. Slid right into it. Look, he slid right on my left hand, right here on the ring finger.
Now, your approach, was he surprised by the whole DM and you? It was like, was something to be like, I don't. But how was his reaction to what you said to him?
Oh yeah, when I was like, I can give you what you want, or not that I can give you what you need. It was just listen. It was just an attention getter.
Right.
So, because I saw a baby emoji. No, I actually saw a post that he made, and it was a girl, and she had a baby in her pants, and then she was like, looked like she was like doing like kitchen work or something. And he was like, oh, I saw the caption. It was like a woman that gets it done or whatever. And I was like, oh, he wants a family. So I just slid in there, and then I was like, I can give you what you need, whatever. He's like, you don't even live here. He must have checked out my profile, whatever. I didn't have like a bunch of revealing, photos, just give him a little shoulder. You know, I got to give him all of this and that on the media. So he was cool. He was shocked. And then I actually started sending him voice notes. And I just started sending him voice notes, and you may have gotten a voice note from me. I actually really like those. And I started, because I don't like texting that often. So I send a lot of people voice notes when I am chatting with them.
Yeah.
And he was like, I really liked your voice. He was like, I really liked your voice. And we just started talking through voice note. Voice notes turned into phone call. We've exchanged numbers, and then we FaceTime, and eventually we met. And, he said his DMs was popping, which I'm pretty sure they were. I'm pretty sure he's a doctor. He's handsome. He's in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure his deals were popping, but hey, he popped that ring on his finger, so
Baby.
it
Okay.
is what it is.
And we're gonna be like, God, who vexed? Okay. Who's vexed? Well, I appreciate that. So we're gonna have to get into some nitty-gritty. Again, I am watching the time carefully.
Okay.
When you decided to accept Elaine's offer to be on the show, did you have any type of hesitation knowing that his ex-wife would be there?
I definitely did, because I knew the show was about mess and stuff like that. But I was like, I actually saw a post that she made with Elaine, and she seemed like she was happy. She actually commented on our and said congratulations on our engagement post. It was a collaboration post I did with Gregory when I posted our engagement, and I happened to see her comment. So, and then I saw, I was doing my research before joining the show. I want to do my own research.
Right.
And she acted like she was all happy. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, well, there shouldn't be any animosity. Shouldn't be any type of beef between her and I, because I don't know her. She don't know me. And she congratulated us, mind you. So
I saw that.
yeah. So I was like, okay, sure. I was like, okay, maybe there won't be beef between her and I. But, Elaine started talking to me about the opportunities that it will present to me, and I'm just like, okay, let me just check it out. But definitely with some hesitation, because I'm not used to being on that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it gave me a little bit of anxiety. And when I signed that dotted line, I was like, I guess I'm doing it. It was like, I actually tried to back out, because I was talking to the showrunner, James Knox. And I was like, I don't know what y'all gonna see, because I don't, I work from home every day. Like, what do y'all? He's like, well, I think that we saw your taping, because you still have to do taping before.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I think you're funny. I think that you have something to offer to the show. And I was like, okay. And that's when all these things, like I was getting married and I had the wedding to plan. They wanted to get that, and and then that endometriosis thing came out of nowhere. And then I had to, they wanted to come to my appointments, and I was like, oh Lord, I didn't know what to expect. So it was kind of awkward at first, because my very first scene I did was going to Simone's office, and I was at my doctor's appointment, so like I didn't really know what I was gonna find out. So that was kind of nerve-wracking. So but I took a chance, and hey, I can say I did it.
So you were okay initially with them talking about your situation with the I can't say that word.
Endometriosis, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I was okay with it, but like I didn't know exactly what it was. I thought I had kidney stones at first, because I've had that before. Mm-hmm. And it brought me down to the ground. Like I could not walk. Just a couple of weeks prior to we started filming, it was February 14th. I went to the hospital. Mm-hmm. And Gregory had to come home, and I could not walk. I've always had painful cycles, but they weren't never in between the time that when I wasn't on the cycle that I had pain like that. So it was just randomly. I wasn't even on my cycle. I just like kind of fell down to the ground, and he had to drive me to the hospital. Okay. So, I was okay. I was like, it's endometriosis. I didn't know what it meant, but I was telling my story, and it was just kind of rolling the dice with it.
Now, I have a question. When it comes to Dr. Jackie, we know that, I don't want to be sensitive to her issue, but were you surprised that to me, in my perspective and what I saw, that she was not too sympathetic about your situation, seeing that she cannot really conceive a child of her own? You,
Yeah, I felt sometimes she wasn't as sympathetic as she should be. I mean, she showed some concern. I will say that at times, she was like, let me know if you need any medication. She did say that, but like, she wasn't warm with it. And there was times that I was offended by the statements that Heavenly would make, and they are, really good friends. And sometimes I just kind of felt like you should check your friend for making these statements. And at times it was kind of like, for example, we were at the PSA that we did, public service announcement, with the mother mortality. And I remember like being in there, and I was, excited to support her, and I just kind of felt like when I walked in, and Heavenly was like, "Oh, you look pregnant," and stuff like that. And I was just like, I have two sis, I'm on the waiting list to get surgery. And sometimes I kind of felt like at that time, Jackie would be like telling me to be quiet, whatever, or I'm defending myself because I would get upset. And I'm like, you need to check your friend. So yeah, unfortunately, it kind of went like that, and I kind of got annoyed. I looked really annoyed because it was always kind of checking me instead of her friend.
right,
So I got kind of annoyed with that, and then the things, I knew that there was going to be some hazing and stuff like that, but it just to me was too much. There was two other people there too. Two
right.
other new people there too. So I just kind of felt like they was doing too much with me. And then when I finally snapped on her, it was out of frustration. It was honestly out of frustration with everybody, because it was like certain things that happened while we were filming, and they'd be like, "Oh, you need to get over it. Put your big girl panties on." So, I would get offended by it. And I'm like, now here we are, and you guys want to comfort Jackie and be sympathetic for Jackie, but that wasn't there for me. So we're in this friend group, everybody needs to show compassion
Right.
to each person. I just felt like, and then at that point I also felt like they were my peers. So, just like, the pettiness and all that, okay, well, I'm gonna joke back because I'm not gonna be clowned all the time. You gonna get clowned.
Right.
But they didn't show a lot of my responses because they want you to have a certain story. They're going to tell their own story about you. You don't have any control over that.
I personally, and I believe the fans will agree, that everyone's story was sweet tea. Everyone's story was basically sweet tea,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I,
I mean, for the most part, Simone kind of had her own thing, and I see Toya kind of had her own thing, but everybody else didn't have their own stories.
okay. We have Caramel joining us. You're on mute, hun. Okay, there you go.
Hi.
Caramel.
Hi,
Hi.
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 Yeah, this is Caramel.
I was just getting back from work.
Okay, haven't we met?
Hi.
Oh, she can hear you. She said, "Have you met?"
Haven't we met?
We have. I think we
Yeah.
have via Instagram.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Via
Okay. Do you have
Instagram.
any questions for CT?
Hmm.
Oh, Miss Caramel, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I do. I do. Well, first of all, congratulations on your wedding, you and Dr. G. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can she hear me?
She can hear you.
Yes, I can.
Yay. Yes, she can hear me. Yes, congratulations on your wedding to Dr. G. I just wanted to ask how do you feel now being on the show with all the women? Do you feel comfortable with this being your first season?
Yes, I feel a lot more comfortable now. It just took some time to get to know the ladies a lot better, especially, you have the regular people that are on the outside, and then when the cameras come on. So I feel like I know now. And, I was still just so new to being on camera, and then, getting to know them a little bit more. Like I knew them, but not in that type of capacity. So
Right.
it was like, oh my gosh. But I feel pretty good now. Even if I were to come on the second season, I think that I would be a lot more outspoken.
Okay, great. So I'm a fan. Let me just say that I'm a fan. Once I saw that Dr. G was actually dating someone, and then when you guys shared your picture, I was like, oh, I said, and she's still like,
Oh, thank you.
I was like, okay, cool, Dr. G. So I was excited to see that because I've been following the show since like season 1. Okay. So I saw like, all the stuff, like all the backlog and everything that was going on, like between me and Quad. So whenever their situation kind of diminished, and to kind of see him moving to the next level and he's in love and with the proposal pictures with you guys, I was like, okay, yes, I'm doing that. So it was like it was really refreshing to see that. So and when he looks at you, you can tell he really loves you. You guys really have that. I can see that. So I was just like, I'm loving that. So I'm loving seeing you guys on this show because it does bring a different dynamic.
It does.
I like it.
I would say it does. It was hard to come in at first because, of course, I kind of knew that they were going to pick at my age. And, I have my reasons why I started dating older. But, like, honestly, they were making fun of me about being a part of the age gap relationship group. But it's more of a support group. And it's like the treatment that I was getting proves the reason why the relationship age gap group exists. Because I'm like, we want to feel accepted by everybody. If we are just like a regular couple, everyday couple, he work, I work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just happen to have an age difference, and that's it. That's it. And I want to exist in friend groups that we feel accepted and they embrace us with open arms. And I want my spouse to feel comfortable without all the type of derogatory language all the time. But, just keep in mind, if you do use it, I can use it back.
Okay. I have a question for you.
I'm feeling it.
Yes. Throughout the season, for me, I felt like you were being bullied. And I know it's a strong word to use, right? But my question to you is, did Bravo, or do you feel Bravo did anything at all to limit the abuse or the attack on you?
That's a good question. I felt like, a lot of things that were happening, I think that they did try to limit some of it, but it was hard for me to watch episode by episode. Like I sometimes couldn't watch it because it was annoying. It was like reliving it again because, when I got married and I was sharing my wedding and all that, like I just could not really find, like I was happy, but at the same time, I just people kept trying to rain on my parade. And, there was times like I would do a scene and then feelings are heightened because you're on camera. So I would do a scene, go home, and I would be upset. Like, I know this bitch didn't try me. you be like, I know, like, and then when it comes, and then you would defend yourself, but at the same time, they not airing you defending yourself either. So that's frustrating. And I remember trying on my dress when we did that dress fitting, and I had already actually picked my dress, but the fact that we filmed the scene and it was Toya and Phaedra that was in the scene, and they were making comments on my wedding dress, and like whenever it's my first time getting married and I'm trying on wedding dresses, I felt like they kind of brought me down a little bit because like this is my dress that I chose, and I was just like not expecting that, and it was kind of planned that way, I guess. And I felt some type of way. And I remember just kind of getting, I said some things in the scene, but they didn't show it. But afterwards, I was kind of upset about, my wedding dress and stuff like that, and the comments that they made. So by the time I showed up to the wine event, you could probably see me like really frustrated. I was really frustrated. So, I was snapping. I ain't gonna lie, I was snapping that night. I mean,
yeah. But that's what I like about you, the fact that you do speak up and that you're not, that you kind of don't sit back and let them run over you. I was like, when you came on and I saw you clapping back, I was like, yep, I like her. Yes. You bring it what need to be brought. Absolutely. So I guess my question is, one, let me say, I like the fact that they're bringing your sister on because it kind of gives you, like a little safe space too, like your little backup.
It does.
I like that. Do you ever get to where people say that you and with Toya kind of favor a little bit. Do you get that?
I get that all the time. Yeah.
I was
Like,
okay,
you can be like my cousin.
But y'all do kind of favor. But what I did want to ask you was the whole Heavenly situation.
Yes.
It was rumored, and I know we don't want to talk about Heavenly, but she kind of falls in this whole mess.
I understand. We can talk about it.
And I'm gonna be real nice. I'm gonna be real nice about it. It was rumored that Heavenly did ask you initially to be on the show, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So when did everything kind of turn weird to where she was just kind of coming for you like that when she kind of befriended you and wanted you to be on the show?
So things kind of changed a little bit around the time when at the bachelorette party when she was talking all that noise while I was in the bathroom, and I didn't know it. My maid of honor came back, and they didn't show everything. My maid of honor told me what she was saying, and it's like she showed up to the wedding the next day, and I'm like, no. And I actually like kind of told her, I was gonna kick her ass at my wedding, but they didn't show all that.
So, of course,
at the wedding,
right before I went,
that would have the ratings holding me up.
Yeah, because I'm like, I was serious about it, because I'm like, why are you here? But at the same time, this is my real family. But honestly, I think that her and the ex had a plan. She had a plan to supposedly, what she told me was that she was on the way out the door, and this was going to solidify her, help her out with the storyline. And see, the thing is, I think they had this plan. I don't know if Quad was in on that, but after a while, I started to see her intentions. Elaine, let's just call her Elaine.
Elaine, there you go.
Yeah, I started seeing her intentions, and then just the plan was really falling apart because right after we wrapped up, I don't get to see them filming the green screens. They start filming the green screens kind of towards like midway through the season. So like I think she had already had a plan that like first she was pretending like she was my friend, and then all of a sudden, my maid of honor told me what she was saying, and then when I'm watching these green screens when the show air, then I see her talking crap, and then it's like, and which is some of that was expected, but right when Bravo posted my home tour, that was right before BravoCon back in November, early November. And they posted my home tour, and immediately there was a switch on her, and she started posting Quad's home tour, and she was shading me, and it was just all this shade, and I'm like on the way to the event, into BravoCon. I'm looking at my Instagram, and I see her just doing videos about me, shading me in the car, like and I'm just like, oh, okay, like I guess this is for the show, whatever. But I was kind of not really paying her no mind a bit. And I remember seeing her, she went on like Ricky Smiley's show. This is again around like late October, early November. She was like kind of shading me and talking about, Gregory couldn't, kept staring at Quad, and none of that was true. But, she was promoting the show, but it was like, and she was like, oh, he said he's controlling and all that. And, already trying to spin this narrative about my endometriosis. So it pissed me off. So I called her, and I called her out, and I cussed her out, and then I told her, what's the purpose of all this? Allow me to tell my story, talk about yourself. Don't get on these interviews talking about me, talk about you and your life. Because clearly you don't do that already on the show. You have a plan to latch yourself, attach yourself on other people for your own storyline, so you don't have to show me your marriage. So I just kind of felt like, okay, you doing all this for the show, I guess, but it just started to go too far when she started getting on those interviews with Carlos, and she was just like every week with him, and I was just like, okay. And then she's talking about, she called me, she was bleeding out on the floor, and I'm like, she was just doing way too much, and I just felt like it was just nasty, and I was like, I got sick of her crap, and I remember I think it was right around when the show was about to air, we did an interview on her channel, and she had stated in the comments, and she was like, she stated in the comments, was like, I'm helping them both. They're like, how could you be interviewing her? She's the new, the new wife or whatever. And she's like, well, I'm helping them both out. And she's like, I'm helping Quad out the most. But she deleted the comments now. They're not in there. But I actually put them. because I knew the bitch was gonna be shady. So I
So
actually
do you
printed
think
them out.
Quad is behind a lot of this stuff that Heavenly is doing, like low key?
I believe so.
I think a little bit, yes, because maybe at not at first, but like me, like notice though, what I want you to notice is how at times when she'll get mad and Quad is not answering her phone calls, she'll go and shade her on Carlos King's
Right.
live. So notice that she'll go and shade her, but guess what? Quad don't ever say nothing because Heavenly is the only one that's gonna film with her.
Mm.
Wow.
So it's kind of like she blackmailing her a little bit, but because remember, if you see on the reunion, she had all the smoke for me, mind you. Ain't nobody say nothing to you. You've been
But
shaded.
Heavenly is like that with everybody. Like I said, I've been following this show since season 1. Heavenly don't like nobody. But what she will do is attach, like you said, attach herself onto people to avoid talking about what's really going on in her life. She's been doing that.
Right.
So you coming on the show, that's no different. You're just the next person for her
Yeah,
to
I'm just the next.
talk
Yeah,
to.
I was just the next victim, but I'm not being one of her hosts. Like I'm not.
Mm. How are you with
I
Simone? You and
refuse.
Simone, you guys are like this?
I'm cool. Yeah, I'm really cool with Simone. Like me and Simone are real tight. I talk to Phaedra. I talk to Toya. I still talk to Alicia. I don't really talk to Jackie that much, but
Gotta
I,
watch
you know,
Phaedra. Phaedra's kind of a flip-flopper. She's okay, but she's
Phaedra, she's good people. I would say overall, I'm still getting to know Phaedra. But I think that she's overall good people from what she presented to me. But I understand, like, we still doing a show.
mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So, but whenever you see the reunion, notice how Quad had all the smoke for me, but
Yeah.
don't have the smoke for all the people that invited me to the group.
Well, she wants to keep her job, so of course she's gonna try to stick with the OG, right?
Right,
Keep her
right.
job.
And she had the smoke for me. So it was just
Right.
like, well, nobody, like, why you got all this smoke for me and Gregory when they're the ones that invited us on the show?
I
It,
don't think
it's
Quad has
ironic.
100% let go either. I'm seeing that.
It's ironic because Quad screamed on the mountaintop, and to anyone that would listen to her, oh, he was abusive to me. He was mean. All this thing. But you want a hug, okay? If someone is that threatening to me or was that threatening to me, I don't want you to touch me. I'm
Mhm.
gonna back away
I
because
feel the
yeah,
same way. It takes away from the people that actually have been through abuse, and I think that,
right.
and I actually said something at the reunion which they did not air. You see how they cut to the men while me and her were going back and forth because I was like, Annie asked a question like, "Well, what do you think about her stating that you had fake designer in your closet or something?" She said, and I don't know you. And I said, but not too long ago, you said she was like trying to name all these things that Gregory did. And I was like, well, at the same time, wasn't you trying to be his friend about a year ago? Her and Gregory met up a year ago when he had to refinance on the house. And she's like, well, I did that so you can have something. And I was like, no, that was court order. It was in the divorce decree. You
Oh,
had to get it signed. You had to do that. It's not that you were doing me a favor, so you thought you was eating on that. And I was like, no, you're
oh,
not. So then we were back and forth for a minute, and I said that, well, you were asking for him to be your friend, telling him to call you, and she was asking for a favor because right after she signed that off, she called Gregory and was like, hey, basically she was like, hey, can you sign off on getting me some tinted windows or whatever? She needed a doctor's signature. And I think that she had some reckless driving or something on her records. So Gregory said no, so she felt some type of way and was like, well, I did that. I did a favor for you, so you should be able to do a favor for me. And so Gregory was like, no, and we were together at that time. But
wow.
Gregory he came back and told me about it. And I recently went out to lunch with Anila not too long ago, and she was telling me she went out with Quad, and she was stating that she was thinking about getting back with Gregory back. I don't know how long, that was a while back ago, but I think that Gregory has, he's moved on. And I was just like, I don't understand. And I said the reunion, don't ask my husband for no hug, don't ask him for no favors. And that, like, you the one that came over here talking to us, and now you all of a sudden, oh, you came over my job. I don't know you. You came over my comment section. Okay,
I kept
congratulating
saying
us.
that I didn't feel like this girl completely let go. It gave weird vibes seeing her on the show, and how she kept coming for you is because she still has feelings for him.
I
was
think that
weird. It's
deep
weird.
down, yeah, I think that deep down she might have some, you know what I'm saying? It's like she might have some type of feelings, but in a way, or she likes the security, that it comes with. I mean, there's some perks of being with a doctor, so I can see that. But at the same time, I mean, the ship has sailed. And, I didn't come on beefing with you. I respected you. I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Mind you, you came to the bachelorette party. Okay. You came, made a conscious decision to do that. And and of course, you came probably to get your check, but don't go get on social media talking about oh, I offered to pay for their wedding. No, you needed the check. Just say that. It's like, don't try to front for your friends. Just say
Mm-hmm.
that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like I done got to a point where it's like, okay, whatever, girl. I don't have time for the silliness. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't do all that.
Okay, so I have a question for you, and we're gonna go to Carlos King because he sure has a lot to say about your and
Endometriosis, yes,
Yes.
endo or endo. You just say endo.
that endo. He has a lot to say about it. Now, I was just watching a lot because I just wanted to get some more questions now that the season is over. He's putting out an apology, saying that it was all fun joke. He didn't really mean anything that he was saying. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that? Because it was the week prior, he was on a live, Heavenly or
Mm-hmm.
Elaine's podcast, hearing Elaine says to what's his name, P.S. Madison, to come and beat you up.
Yeah, I saw. Mm-hmm.
How do you
Someone
feel
told
about
me
that?
about
Because
that.
you can't apologize. You can't say, "Oh, it's all good fun," but you over here having someone say, "Oh, yeah, beat her up for me." How do you feel about that?
I think that's just, I think that's very nasty of her to do that. I think that something is seriously wrong with her. I really do. At this point, as much as she's been going, and if you're so happy you get dick down every day, you need to find you some business. You need to really find it, because it's like, now you encouraging someone to beat me up and all these things and read me down. Like, let's just be honest and say that you see me as a threat, and I'm not going to allow you to, you know bully me, because she and I told her, like, do you want me to be the villain? I don't think that you want that. You don't
Mm,
know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
right.
may thought that I was just this young girl, but you don't want me to come down on you. The minute I mentioned Damon, she was like, I saw her say something. Whenever somebody say something about my man, I'm gonna lose my religion. Well, you about to convert to being an atheist, baby, over here. I don't have time. Like, you gonna get that work when it come down to me. I'm not gonna back down. And it's just like, all of this is unwarranted, and it's unprovoked, because, like, literally I've done nothing to this lady and she's just acting up. And it's just like, you gonna go and shade me. And the one thing I say, whenever we were on the live, she was trying to, like, pretend as if, like, I was coming for her and her mom, but
Right.
at the same time she was shading me. She was like, at least I can have kids. I went low because she went low. I did apologize for that, but it's just like, you just keep going there with me
But do you
and
accept
telling
his
people that the
apology?
reunion didn't go good. But I just think that she's nasty, she's vile.
Do you accept
And
Carlos' apology?
I don't accept his apology, because you're not gonna sit there and tell me it's all fun and games. You're a whole ass man,
Mm,
and you think that you can comment on something that I have no control over. And I know that you're good friends with Quad, so you're doing this for her. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just see through the BS. You're doing this for her because you're good friends. You're trying to promote her, but it makes y'all look like trash. It really does. For you to go that low, like, you can't come from me with any, you can come from my looks and call me all these things and say that I was a fan. Whoop-de-doo. What are y'all doing that is so significant in this community to make me a fan, for one? Y'all ain't doing nothing. Ain't nobody really got doing no big business type stuff either. So it's just like, what is there to fan over? What, your hair, your wigs that fall off? I'm not understanding what it is.
There's,
Like,
there's a question here from one of our subscribers. She said, will we see more of your family on the next season if you accept the offer to go back?
I'm hoping so. Yes. You probably will see more of my sister. I'm hoping that if I do come back, I'm hoping that does come and film with me. And I have some, like, surprises to reveal, so I'm super excited.
Are you gonna drop it over him, or are you gonna drop it on
I'm hoping we hear baby news.
Right.
That's
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
hoping to
hoping you would
hear.
stop right
I'm,
here.
I'm, I'm hoping that I'm hoping to hear baby news from me.
That would be so
we are
exciting to.
actively trying. Everybody's sending me stuff, the maca root, the geritol, and all that. I'm trying to take it all.
Yeah.
Would you ever
Like
go the
prenatals, take prenatals too. Prenatals would kind of jumpstart too.
Yes, I'm taking prenatal pills. I have conception pills. I'm trying to do it all. I mean, look, I'm getting Gregory. I'm feeding him watermelon because I heard that move the blood flow for the men.
But it's gonna happen when you're really not trying. When y'all just
Right.
go in and just do it, and when you just really not trying, it'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just staying positive about it because I really
yeah,
need
I'm happy to hear that. How many kids, if I'm not prying too much, how many kids do you think you guys would want to have? Because he's expressed he wants to have kids.
I know. Two. I would say two the max, but Gregory would just be happy with one. But I was like two, but he was like,
Y'all
baby,
might have them twins because he's a twin, you're a twin.
I know. Honestly, I would love to have twins just to get it over with. Like, I'd rather just have the twins, get it over with. Because I don't know if I want to be pregnant 2 times in a row and it got snapped back, I'd rather that. So I actually had my fertility appointment next week. So I'm going to go to that and just make sure everything is good and all that kind of stuff. When I had my surgery, they said that my fallopian tubes were wide open. So that was good because they were thinking that they may have to remove one, but they didn't. So, yeah, so I'm like, we're just trying to hurry up and get it done. I think that most doctors, when they say, whenever you go through these IVF processing, they say that you have to at least try for a year. But I'm gonna see if they can make exceptions. My husband's getting older, and see if because it hasn't been a year since after the surgery yet. So I'm like not considered infertile yet, because the doctor was telling me on Dr. Davis, she was saying it was a 50% chance that I may have issues with infertility, but like I'm not even considered infertile yet.
Wow, that's awesome. So I think you guys, y'all gonna do what you're going to. It's meant to be. There's always a reason for everything. There's a reason you guys met. There's a reason you guys are, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason why you guys are moving to the next level. I don't know. I'm happy. Why am I excited like it's gonna be my niece or nephew or something? I don't know.
Look, I'm happy too. Like everybody was like shading me about being in, the home that Gregory and Quad shared together. But like when I moved into this home, when I met Gregory, let's back it up. I didn't know that, she was here. Like I didn't see anything where, it was like, oh my gosh, she's all up in, I met Gregory as a single man Gregory in his home. So it was like, it wasn't really a big deal because it was just his house. Mm-hmm. So, when I moved in, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some little decorating. I'm gonna change the paint over here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna renovate this kitchen. And my goal is to one day just at least get us a few investment properties. Like I want to have something in Texas. I want something in DC. Like I ain't really trying to be in the house. I want to travel, Mm-hmm. And because I come from from a humble background, and I just think that I have better things to worry about than having to have the biggest house and all that kind of stuff. I just want to do what I want to do. I don't care about
the house is paid for.
It's almost paid for.
Oh, almost paid for. Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, why go into more debt trying to appease or make somebody else feel like you got it? I mean, I'm not saying you don't have it, right? Why try to make somebody feel like you're trying to compete with other women, that own the show or whatever? You guys are doing what works for you, and if you guys grow as babies come, then maybe you'll think about maybe upgrading or whatever if that's what you feel like you want to do. But I don't want in it. If you don't mind me asking, because I know a lot of people were saying, well, no, she's a gold digger, she's this. Can you explain to the people, tell the people what it is that you do and what you're bringing to the table?
Right.
So yes, I am a veteran and veteran of the Air Force, and I'm 90% disabled. And I also work for the government. I work for the CDC, and I work full time. I'm a GS-12, so I make pretty good money. And it's in the Freedom Information Act management. That's what I do. Mm-hmm. And pretty much what that is, when the public come in and they request information from the government, the citizens of the United States. They have a right to know about the government. So it's a pretty easy job. Like you get to see a lot of cool information within the government. I worked for the intelligence community and all that kind of stuff. Like I've seen a lot of cool documents that I can't discuss, but
Right.
but I mean, I do well for myself. I came in when I came into Gregory, I didn't have any bills. I was actually working two jobs. I worked full time for the intelligence community, and also I was working for the Department of Agriculture. And I had timeshare, I paid it off. Then I had my car, it was paid off. Like I didn't come in here with no bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when he was
So
like,
everybody can
I like
stop
her
all
back.
this talk about, oh, she's a gold digger. No, baby, no. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a gold digger. Like I guess because of the show, they want to portray you. But I'm a jokester. I like to joke around. Like I like,
Yeah.
when I said that comment, we were actually playing a game, and I was just joking about it. But I also in that same scene, like we filmed for like 3 hours, and I was telling them like, man, I feel bad for trying to hire someone to help me because I was like starting a new job. I was new to Atlanta. Then I was planning a wedding, and I was actually telling them how like it's been stressful on me, like just trying to get adjusted and then doing this. And they're like, oh, you being lazy and this and that, and I said I felt bad for hiring like a maid to help me out or a housekeeper to keep up with the house. 'Cause my mama didn't do that, so I felt like there's a guilt in me for those things.
Okay. I'm gonna just venture out. So now that you're here, okay, you're here. You have arrived. Sweet Tea has arrived. What are your plans? Like, have you been able to make anything off of this fame? Fame now that you're getting. Any T-shirts, any books, anything like? What do you have? Like, what are you using this platform for besides talk about?
Right.
Right.
Then that don't matter. Okay. What is
Well, I
this
want to
platform?
show my passion for like philanthropy, and I love volunteer work. I'm actually working on a nonprofit called NOMO. It's a networking outreach movement and organization, and I want to cater to women and children, homeless people, veterans, people of the armed services. So I really want to be able to cater to anybody in the community that's in need. And that's really my passion because I've been doing that since I was a kid. Like I get excited when I'm talking about that. So
There you go.
I want to show more of that. I actually started volunteering at the USO. I've been volunteering at the food bank. So I want to show more of that. And then also I'm coming out with my own tea line. Having endometriosis kind of made me think about just medicinal teas and what can I do to help myself. At home. I want to take charge of my medical condition. I want to take charge of my health. So I thought about actually doing a medicinal tea line and also just teas for taste. Because I went over and my sister was in Taiwan. She used to live over there. And when I went over there, I was like, dang, this is an awesome place. Like that, it was like fruit teas and all that. And I just fell in love with tea. And then being that my name was Sweet Tea on Instagram, I was like, okay, this is something that I could probably do. I could be selling teas, medicinal teas, sweet teas. Me and my sister at one point we wanted to open up a uh, fruit tea lounge. Like that's like a dream for the both of us. I want to come up with my own lip line. I love makeup. I want to do music, like just for the fun, because I can.
Don't say music now, because I'm into that.
I love, even though, listen, I can't really sing, not like that. Now I can carry a little tune, but I was like, if anything is possible. I've always been the type of person, I'm gonna try something new. I wrestled in high school. I was in the band. Like I did all types of different things, and I always tried my hand in different things. And I want to keep that going, even as an adult in my life. And I want to try new things. Like, and Gregory's the same way. Like I'm a lot more adventurous than he is. But he plays the guitar. I want him to like kind of get more into that. I was like, oh,
Plays
baby.
guitar.
He does. He
I
does play
love that.
He does.
Okay.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
I see him,
He be working on it, y'all. He be
Yeah.
working on it. He's trying to get his lessons in. I gotta get him back to the lessons.
Okay.
But like that's something that I would love. That tea line and selling T-shirts.
That's awesome.
I got some fun T-shirts coming out. Access to the money.
Right.
And you know, because you, as a wife, you should have access to the money. Okay,
Period.
you should be able to
Period.
trust you, and you should be able to, everything he gives you, you should be able to multiply.
Right.
So those are the things that I would love to do. Even got a shirt coming out, Dennis the Menace. It's not, and I know she's trying to steal my stuff. I know she's trying to steal because she don't even want to give me credit for that.
Yeah, that was my next question. Like, oh, I was hoping you would grab on that because baby Queens.
Yeah, she's trying to steal that and whatever, and saying that I didn't come
Who
up
has
with
the
that. But
shirt though? She has a shirt.
yeah, she does. But I also have a shirt.
Okay, great. Start laying it out because we need to start buying
Yes,
it.
yes.
I'm going to support the tea thing because I'm all about. I love teas. Like I don't drink coffee, so I'm a tea fanatic. So I'm definitely going to support that.
Yes, I love tea too. I fell in love with it a couple of years ago. I was like, I got to do something with this because it is nice, especially fruit tea. And I'm drinking like this is that mango tea from Chick-fil-A, but I love it all.
Right?
Everything except peach tea. I can't do peach tea. I'm not into that. But everything else, I'm good.
You can okay.
Now I know that we have to, kind of like wrap this because you do have another at 6:00. But I have a question. Yeah, we heard about your mom. How is she dealing with, all this that is coming at her? Like, does she want to, with Elaine, like, because she's disrespectful to her daughter, and any mom would have some type of a feeling. Like, how does she feel about all this?
Right. My mom, she does not like it. She is not okay with it. Because my mom did a video the other day because I guess she was talking about how my mom had me young and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, my family's just looking for a come up. And it's very offensive because now it's kind of like you're involving my mom. And, it's already hard enough for her to see her daughter go through it. And it's just like, now my mom's like, okay, now she want to enter the chat. You know what I'm saying? She want to enter the chat. And she been wanting to enter it, but you keep inviting it. You keep inviting for her to say something to you. And I just think that she just needs to be mindful. Like, like, why are you doing all this? Your mama not even here. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you doing all of this? And I just think that she's deflecting. She's deflecting also. I think it's perception. I think that she maybe looks at my life and maybe wishes that she did things differently in hers. I don't know, but at this point, I just like, I don't know. She need to be checked out.
I have a question from a subscriber. She said, "How do you feel knowing that Simone has your back dealing with Heavenly? She implied to Carlos that she wouldn't return to the show if they continue letting Heavenly be disrespectful as she is."
I did see that, and I talked to Simone, and I was telling Simone, like, it's frustrating because it's like, I'm gonna feel some type of way because, like, y'all can't be rocking real hard with her because now I feel like that's what y'all for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna hang around with someone like that. And I had told Jackie the same thing. Like, you need to reevaluate your friendships because you over here all about women empowerment, and she does not exude that. She's not showing an example of that. So I was like, you need to reevaluate your friendships because people ain't gonna want to work with her. And then you walking around saying that's your best friend. So I think Simone is trying to distance herself in a way because she is a physician and she dragging me by my endometriosis. And I had said something at the reunion. I was like, you read the Hippocratic Oath. I'm also one of your patients, and you dragging me the way you do. You're supposed to swear to do no wrong and what's best for a patient, regardless. Even though it doesn't have to do with dentistry, still like you're not being smart about it. You want to say that I'm slow and I'm the R word and all these things, but like, ma'am, look at you. It's like you don't make no sense and you playing with yourself and you're going to play yourself without a job. And I think that Simone is seeing it because I was talking to Simone about it and I was just like, I don't know how. She tells me she goes low, but like this is too much. This is too much, especially after what she called my husband, the P word and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, girl.
How does your husband feel about that?
He doesn't like it. Of course, he does not like it, but he doesn't want to give her too much shine. Like, he doesn't really want to address it. He's just like, babe, that's her, leave it alone. Because, he has real patience and stuff, and he doesn't want to highlight this even more to talk about it in the media. because it's just like, he has a real career. He was like, that show, he just tells me it show stuff. I don't want to hear it. It's wrong. And I told him, if we film again, they're going to bring that, they probably might bring all this up. But, she keeps threatening like, oh, there's things out there about him and that she don't know. Like, girl, allegedly, you a grown, big ass woman and you ain't fact checking. You over here allegedly and this and that. Like, it's just like you too old not to be fact checking. You just too old to be doing all that. And then like my husband hasn't done anything to you. If it's between you and I, keep it right there. Deal with me.
Heavenly does that to people that she's threatened by. And I felt that whenever I saw you guys, the scene that you guys filmed where you guys went for a drink and you were talking to her and she kind of mentioned something that you told her. I said, see, I'm kind of seeing through Heavenly now, that she is literally trying to maybe ostracize you from the show or maybe get you booted off the show. It's like she reel you in and then she's trying to get you put off the show to kind of elevate Quad in a way.
Yeah, she is. You clocking it real. She definitely is trying to get me kicked off. I can't talk about it.
I see that.
But she is. And I don't she keeps talking about things that happened at the reunion and all this. And there's nothing that happened at the reunion that will get me kicked off. But that's what she's alleging.
Well, her energy was way off at the reunion. The way she was coming for you, like she wanted to maybe fight you or something. Right. Like she was, her energy was too turned up for the actual vibe that was going on at the reunion. To me, well, I don't feel like Quad should even be on the show because she's not married to medicine anymore. So I'm trying to figure out why they're keeping her on the show. The show is called Married to Medicine. She's no longer married to medicine. You served your purpose for when you were there. So what is the reason that she's there? Is it to help boost you and Dr. G's storyline, or what is it?
Well, I mean, I guess Heavenly, her idea was to help her with the storyline. So that was the idea, because that's what she told me. She said that she didn't have anything to fall back on and look at it like this, helping another Black woman out. But that's not why I came on, whatever, because I don't know her. So I don't get it
either. I mean, no shade. She didn't have a storyline last season either. Like she was talking about her nephew and all that. We didn't care about that.
We don't.
You brought nothing this season except trolling you and Dr. G. Period. Like, I don't see her purpose for being on the show. Just my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I can only say so much about it, but I do feel like a lot of people try to ride on my coattail. I do feel that way, and especially when I wasn't even bringing it to them that way. But that's just me. They can't say anything about me. They keep wanting to say, "Oh, she's a fan." They can only say that because I'm not responding to anything. Like they can only say that because I'm not doing what you want me to do, or I'm not giving you any energy.
But like they say, honey, next season when you come in, like they say, don't never let nobody spray you with your own tea. Tell your own stuff. Create your own storyline. Right. We can even put it out there. Then it'd be like, and what? What you guys say now? I already said it. What you got next?
And I think that that was the issue, was that because I didn't have a following and she got on her YouTube, and before the scenes came out, she was already creating her own narrative. So
but you have followers now.
Yes, I have them now.
Since being on there, this first season, everybody's starting to receive you more, because at first they were kind of iffy, like, okay, who is this new girl? But now that they had a chance to see you on the show and the dynamic between you and Dr. G, they're like, okay, we like her. We like her. So, next season should be like a breeze for you. And you create a relationship on the show with the girl. Yeah, I think it would.
What I'm hoping to see, though, I mean, we haven't seen it. I know in an old clip that Tea Talk with Your Girl had posted, and shout out to her, because when we're done here, guys, run over to Tea Talk. Sweet Tea will be over there. There was a clip that Heavenly had posted with showing us her husband's room. That's where he sleeps. So are you not telling us something that you might be sleeping in separate bedroom and you just don't want all that story? Your kids are not in the home anymore. Like, what are you hiding? We want to hear from you. Yes, we got the ratings up this season. We need something from Heavenly besides cussing, and then you're gonna talk about the Lord, and then you're gonna cuss, and you're gonna bring you in. Like, we're sick of it. You're a grown woman with a very highly, professional status.
Right.
We need to see her more, or get off the show just like Quad. Get off the show.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are yearning for authenticity in real lives, and just made up fake fights is just kind of getting old, and I think people need to just. I mean, I feel like it's more work to do that. Like you on YouTube on every Monday, and you getting on your lives and all that. You create more work for yourself. If you just do the job, you wouldn't have to do all this extra stuff.
But see, with Heavenly, if you follow, like I said, if you follow the show from the beginning, Heavenly took the cameras back to where she used to live. And she talked about how she never got attention growing up as a child. She really didn't have such a great relationship, like with her family dynamic. So this YouTube thing and this show, she's enjoying this attention. So any type of attention, whether it's negative or positive, she feeds off of that. Even when she's coming for you, she loves that because it's giving her the attention that she
did tell me that. She did tell me that once.
So you have to ignore people like that, ignore and don't give her that attention. And that's what shuts her down because that's what she's looking for anyway.
Yeah.
One of the subscribers says Sweetie should ask Dr. Heavenly why she stayed drunk and it's not why Dr. Damon sleeps in the other room.
Not the drunk walk, girl.
That's so funny. I don't know why she do all that, but I think there's something that she's hiding, and there's a reason why she doesn't want to reveal her relationship. I think that she's very insecure. And she doesn't want to reveal that.
Oh yeah, I peeped the insecurity. Season 1, I was telling them on my channel, they didn't get 3 words out of Heavenly when she first came on the show because she was like a big girl. Oh, I mean, back then she was eating 24 pieces of chicken, and I'm gonna be messy because that's how she was eating 24 pieces of chicken back then. And then she got her little surgery. She can only probably eat 1 now, and then she's smoking one in her purse. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm being messy, Heavenly, because I tears her up on my channel. Yes, but now that she done dropped the weight, that she kind of feeling herself a little bit. I agree. Now she's starting to become this mean girl where she's picking at other people for attention. And I feel like you got to give her that energy back to get her off you. I'm just saying.
I know. And it's so funny. I was giving it to her, but they didn't air it. But they were saying like, we don't want you to look like you coming against the OGs. I was like, whatever.
Do what you got to do.
But I get to own her.
You military, man. You are ex-military. It's like sink or swim, right?
Yep.
Sink or swim, baby. Sink or swim.
Carmel, do you have any final question? We have 443 in the chat, guys. Please make sure to hit the like in the comments.
Wow.
Here we're gonna end it. I guess my final question will be: where do you see yourself going into the second season? What is your motive? What is your idea for the next season?
I think that is to try to mend some of the other relationships that I have with the ladies, and also just market my business and show more of who I am with the volunteering and the love for my husband. Our 1-year anniversary is coming up on the 15th of April. So, just kind of showcase more of our relationship. And, I just want to give everybody the real, like, even when he might get cussed out,
Yeah. Y'all will be fine. Y'all are going to be fine. I love it.
Well, I want to personally thank you, Sweetie, for coming through. I'm a Ride or Die fan for you. I was there day 1. My subscribers love you. And we're going to continue to rock with you. What we don't like, we're going to speak up on it. We don't like bullying. And that's a lot that goes on Carlos. But we're not going to talk about him.
Right. Yeah. And apology not accepted. And I'm not running over there doing no interviews with him either.
No, I call him a chipmunk. That's my name.
I call him and her. I call her Jerry from Tom and Jerry, and him Arthur. Two rats.
I call him Chipmunk, and I call her No Edges. But
well, we thank you, and again, thank you for the 447 people that is in here. We appreciate you guys, Sweetie. Appreciate you guys. We're gonna run over to Tea Talk with your girl because that's where Sweetie will be next. Sweetie, thank you.
Thanks for number one.
I had a great talk.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Hey, Miss Carol.
Yes, it was a great interview. I told you,
it
was gonna be good. It was gonna be good.
Thank you so much for joining me. You asked some great questions, and guys, we so appreciate you guys, all 440 something. Okay.
Yes, come on, through 400.
Come on through 400. Hit that like, subscribe. And
hit that like, guys. Hit the like.
thank you again, Miss Gamarelle. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you in the next one. You know what the next one is, girl.
Yep.
All right.
I'm down. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thank y'all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.